Welcome to the Mind of Reese podcast. I'm your host, Reese Hilburn, tattoo artist, tattoo shop owner, and spiritual tattoo business coach. Basically, your all-around tattoopreneur. Here to bring you all things tattoo business, marketing, mindset, manifestation, and spirituality. This podcast is meant to help you expand your mind and up-level your tattoo business. I am so excited that you are here. Welcome to another episode of the Mind of Reese. I am so glad that you are here. It's like the first morning where I don't have to wear a sweater. It's like at the end of June, and normally in these podcasts, I do them super early in the morning, so I don't have to wear a sweater for this one, which I'm really stoked on. So that means that we are getting into summer, and I am excited about that because I am definitely a sun being. But wherever you are, I'm sending you all the hot, juicy, summery vibes of California. And and if you are loving these episodes, please go ahead and rate them and share them on your social medias, just so that everybody can get a little taste of the energy and of the yummy magic. So today, what I want to talk about is sharing your accomplishments and achievements with others or even online. Now, I get a lot of flack from my family, from people I don't know online, about how I talk about how much money I've made. And I used to be definitely the type of person that was conditioned to believe that talking about your money was no, you can't talk about how much money you made. It's I'm not quite sure why. I can't even I was thinking about it today. I was like, why is it that people are so afraid to talk about how much money they're making? Is it because they feel like they're not making enough and they don't want to share how much money they're making? Or is it because maybe some people feel like, oh, you're making a lot of money and you shouldn't brag? And so, for me, it was always I felt I think for me, it always felt like I wasn't making enough. But that's also a mindset because, there are very, very happy people out there that don't make a ton of money and don't base their happiness on money, the energetics of money. And for me, I always did. I was oh, my worth is based on my income. And so once I kind of removed that belief within me about, that money is bad but money can't be talked about. And for me, I have done a lot of money mindset work with coaches and things like that about, really cultivating a really strong, beautiful relationship with my money and with money in general and the energetics of money and how money is just energy and money, the actual paper money is just a tool to, help create more opportunity within my space or within my zone of genius, which is the tattoo industry for now. And so as I'm in the tattoo industry, what I'm doing is by having more money, I am creating a safe space for tattooers to feel creative, also feel driven and excited about their futures and helping build leaders within that space. I'm also creating money to give opportunity to the assistants that I have to give them a really cool job that makes them feel creative and makes them feel like their own leaders and makes them feel like this is their job, that this is the job that they get to create for this company, that they are feeling like they're a part of something big. I also get to travel the world to share my message and my movement through seminars and things like that. So the way that I think of money now is I think of it as this beautiful tool that helps us, create the spaces that we want to be in. I live in a beautiful apartment right off the beach. I literally can look at the water from where I'm sitting right now. And that for me makes me feel where I am creating in my highest creative self. Why? Because water and me are one and the same. I feel very, very called and creative next to water. And so I've cultivated this business. I've created this business that allows me to have a space that's done this. I manifested this apartment. There were no apartments to be had anywhere east or west of the 5 in, northern San Diego. And it's really hard to find, especially literally I can see it. I can walk to it. It takes me 5 minutes to get down the cliffs to be on a practically at my own private beach. And so it's am I saying all this to brag? Some people might think that. Some people do think that. Some people think that me talking about all the money I've made and whatever nonsense is it's a bad thing. Oh, Reese, quit bragging. Oh, you're putting people down. And that's not how I see it. But see, that's the thing. Okay. So why I'm bringing this up is because not only does this happen a lot for some of my inspired students, especially some of my clients, my coaching clients, my coaching students, my members, my VIP members, they're just seeing that they're like, well, I can't tell even my team how much money I make because I'm afraid they're going to think that I'm just, only have the artist here because of that. Because of that reason is to make me money so that I don't have to work. And, that comes up for me as well. That comes up for me a lot as well. I'm always like, do they think that I'm not doing enough? And this is actually something I'm really, really working on. This is something I'm really, really working on for myself, because I know that even if they did, that's on them. That's not on me, because I know innately that I'm doing a lot to make sure that this company is afloat. It's my baby. This is my baby. The Art of Reese Incorporated is my baby. When I became incorporated 2 years ago, I felt so, I was like, I have a corporation. Like, holy shit. Like, what? And then, it was a baby, and it's not like it had a ton of money. It just sounded cool. You know what I mean? And so it's like, even that in and of itself just felt so cool. And I was like, okay, why does it feel cool? So I always go down those routes of asking the questions. It's like, am I stroking my ego, or is it just, it's a really cool accomplishment? And it's okay to have both. Like, don't not celebrate yourself because you're like, oh, well, that's my ego. It's like, fuck it. Like, celebrate yourself always, because this is a big deal. You are creating strides within your business. And if it feels aligned for you, if it feels so aligned for you, like it's in the pathway of what your soul has signed on to be on this planet for, then you're golden. I know for a fact that I am on my aligned path. And that by talking about certain things helps heal me and my inner wounds and my old beliefs and old limiting beliefs about certain things, including money and achievement and accomplishments and success. So recently I had posted something on Instagram that got a lot of shit, which I love because it challenges me. It triggers me, because I'm like, I'm such an, like, as if you know me and if you followed me for a long time, or if you know me in person, like I would like to believe that I am a very genuine, really kind human being, and that I put everyone above me. I put a lot of people above myself because I know that I can hold the space for it. I am a natural healer. That's what I do. I became a tattoo artist to heal people, which I didn't even know that that's what I was doing until I started to cultivate that understanding. And then when I realized that I could help more people at one time in the same 24 hours a day, I was like, I'm going to choose to push this one part of my identity aside, me being only a tattoo artist, and become the tattoopreneur that I know I'm meant to be, to help other tattooers thrive and rise and thrive. That's now my new main goal. Like, I am a multifaceted human being. I'm allowed to switch things around as well. Like, I don't have to be a full-time tattooer to be, to only show my success in the tattoo industry. For me, it's like, no, if I'm taking time out of my day, a lot of time out of my day, to create certain things to help others thrive the way that I've seen success, and just so they don't have to do the thing that I did, which was burn out, get overwhelmed, all these things, I'm going to share that with you. And sometimes it does take the physical statistics to share with people that it actually works. Because I know a lot of people feel it. They feel the innate that, like, wow, you can have a holistic and balanced business and still be fucking extremely successful. Actually, what's funny is I truly believe that the universe wants you to be a fucking successful human being in whatever way you see success, whether that be within money or things or families or whatever it might be. Because success truly is an inner thing. You have to feel successful to attract success within you. I feel successful because I feel at peace with where I'm at most of the time. I have my moments. I'm still human. I'm still working through a lot of shit. But for the most part, when I feel at peace, that's success to me now. It used to be about the money. It used to be about all this external validation. It used to be the likes, the follows. It used to be, vanity metrics. But for me now, the statistic is that if the money is growing, that means I'm helping more people. And that's what's happening. So the physical manifestation of actual money just means that I am changing the minds of more people on how to run a business from a holistic and balanced place. And for me, that means that the world, when I heal, the world heals. You thrive, we all thrive. This is my thought process. This is my truest, newest, beautiful belief that I've cultivated for the last year and a half. And now I'm just like, this is the reason why things don't sway me. Like, this is the reason why people's opinions don't bother me. I even have my family telling me, like, you can't be sharing that shit. Stop sharing that shit, Reese. Like, mad at me. You can't be sharing that shit. But when I explain it to them, look, I'm not doing it to be braggadocious. I'm not trying to be like, oh, guess how much money I made. Like, it's not like that. I know that they see it as successful, but it's like, oh, that's great when you tell us to yourself, but when you tell the whole world, it's like you're putting a thing on your back for people to hate you or whatever. And I'm like, listen, the only thing I'm trying to do, and the only thing that I know that innately where it's coming from within me, it's of a place of service. If I'm going to tell you how much money I made, it's because I want you to know that it's possible for you too. That I'm nothing fucking special, and that I can show you, and then I can help you and show you the way. Period. If I didn't come from a place of service, it would be such an unfulfilling task that I have. And I've been unfulfilled for a very long part of my life. For the majority of the part of my life, I have been trying to fill a void within me through external resources, through money, through boyfriends, through men, through travel, through success, through fame, through likes, through follows, through all the things. And all of it got me no fulfillment in the void. And I wondered why. And that brought me here. It brought me onto this healing journey, this spiritual journey of really realizing and knowing that, like, fulfillment, love, success comes from within me first. Even though I saw a lot of it outside of me, I needed to do that. I needed to burn myself out. I needed to do things at the detriment of my own well-being in order to see the success, realize that that's not the fulfilling part. That's not what's going to fulfill me. Like Jim Carrey said it best once, and me and my the guy I'm seeing, we were talking about this. We had this conversation about what Jim Carrey said. He's like, I wish everybody was rich and fucking famous, because then they'll all realize that it's not what it is. It's not the fulfilling part of fucking life. And I agree. That's what I'm at. And so for me, it's like it took me, gosh, I'm 34 years old. It took me. I started working probably around like 14, 15 years old. So it's taken me that long since I was 14 or 15. And even before then, because the things that I saw within my family, how hard they worked, how hard it was for them. Just everything seemed hard. It was hard to make money. You had to work hard to do things. You had to keep doing in order to be successful. You need to, the more hours you put in, the more you were worth. Like, this was what I saw. This is what I believed. And that's what I did for the majority of the time that I've worked for someone or for myself. And now I'm at a place where, wow, I don't have to, it doesn't have to be that way. And I could be even more successful. I've already reached the amount of money I made in all of last year in cash now, 6 months into the new year. Because I've expanded my mind. I've expanded this fulfillment within me, and I'm showing up in a place of service. I'm showing up that feels aligned within my soul, within my inner wisdom. I'm operating from a calm nervous system instead of operating from like, oh fuck, I'm going to lose money if I'm not making money. It's like we have these beliefs about money, about our self-worth, about our success, about happiness. And we literally use our hands to grab and grasp at anything outside of us that we think is going to fulfill those voids, to help us not feel unworthy, to help us feel happy, to help us feel loved, to help us feel successful. But again, the word I keep using is feelings, right? Feelings come from within you, not outside of you. Yeah, there's things that could probably perpetuate a feeling, but it's fleeting. Like, it's like chocolate. You eat one piece of chocolate, you're like, that was so good. But then you're like, I need another piece. That's definitely for me. Okay. So the other day I posted something about I had done an $86,000 launch through Inspired Academy. I had I make $20,000 a month tattooing 3 days a week. I own a tattoo shop with three amazing artists, and we have guest artists running through as well. And through them alone, gosh, I think we're well into almost the six figures of them just working. Almost, not quite. I don't like charge. I'm very mindful about how much money they give me, because I'm like, listen, bitch, like, stop working so hard. Take a day off. Like, I give them 10 days off a month. And, we have a goal because we're trying to take all of December off. If you guys have been listening to my other podcast episodes, like, you'll know what we're doing, what we're up to. And so, like, yeah, so they're working their buttholes off right now because we all want to take December off. And so it's like I've given them the incentive. They understand now. So we're like, they get 10 days off a month anyway. Like most tattooers work 5 days a week every week. 2-3 tattoos a day. Nope. Like my artists, they go alternate 4 or 5-4 so they get 10 days off. And they get to leave when they get to hit a cap of the amount of money they make that day. If they make more money that day, then it goes into a different type of incentive. Like, I've got this shit like dialed, because I know how it is to feel like an artist that's paying commission to something that I don't know what it's going towards, and to feel like jaded and feel taken advantage of, and feel like the owner of the shop only comes in to just collect his cash and then just leave. So I'm not that type of boss. And so so we've created a high amount of money. I'm thinking, gosh, in the last 6 months, anywhere from just 3 artists, I think anything around like 75K right now. And then what else? Oh, this past launch I booked out 5 months, made $20,000 upfront in deposits. And I did that in less than 24 hours due to strategies that I have. So it's like I talked about all of this. I talked about all the success that I have. And before, you could not have gotten me to do it, because I would have been like, oh my God, like, fuck. I'm like, yo, you can't say that out loud. Like, you can't talk about your money like that. Like, it's like a faux pas. And so for me, what I've learned through other coaches and through coaching and through getting therapy and healing work myself, it's like, well, ask yourself why you don't want to share, why you think it's bad, what makes you think that bad, where did you come up with that belief? If you do, then like, all the power to you, whatever. But like, at the same time, for me, there's a different belief. So for me, what happened, I posted this thing, I said all of this stuff. And I had a couple of people be really rude about it, but then there was this one guy that was actually really nice about it. He goes, yeah, you've done a lot. You might even be happy, because he doesn't follow me. I checked. I was like, you don't know where I'm coming from, but I understand. So it was like, but I don't believe that the top tier people that are super successful would be talking about this stuff. They don't have to brag about it. And I wrote back and I was like, hey, I completely respect your opinion. I most of the time won't write back to anybody that's rude, but this was a really nice comment. Actually, it was just like constructive. And I was like, oh, you know what? And I'm like, I'm not here to brag. I'm only here to share what is possible for people, that they can do the same thing, because I'm nothing special. That's it. Yeah, I might be pretty or whatever else, and people can blame that on that, but that's the thing, is that that's on them. That's not on me. I've seen the most successful people, in this world talk about the things that they're talking about, have way less followers than I do. And like, think of all these things, like, because in the comment, it was like, yeah, you have a lot of followers. Yeah, you make a lot of money. It sounds like, and then there was other people who were like, it sounds like you don't even fucking tattoo anymore, la, 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 la. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. I don't tattoo as much as I used to, for sure. I spent 10 years tattooing, and now I'm doing something else. I'm allowed to shift in my business. So when people make these kinds of comments, my family talking about it too, like, you shouldn't be just, it has nothing to do with you. Sometimes there are moments where like I could feel the twinge of me taking it personal, for sure. Like, it's just a natural habit for me that I'm working through. But automatically when I feel that twinge, like I'm able to catch it, get aware of it, and be like, oh, no, no, no. Thanks, ego. Like, it's all good. Like, we don't need to be upset by this. We don't need to get defensive. There's no need, because it's not about me. Like, the things that they have to say, like, for instance, the guy that was like, oh, it sounds like you don't even want to be a tattooer anymore. His limiting beliefs within himself is saying that, like, you have to be one thing for the rest of your life. That is what we were told since, like, the dawn of time. You had blacksmiths being black. They have last names as blacksmiths because then them and every generation after had to be a blacksmith. You can't change. You can't change the course. You have to stay the same. And in this new paradigm shift, this new earth, like, I believe that you follow where your soul takes you. As you grow and evolve, everything around you grows and evolves. So no, I'm not tattooing 5-6 days a week like I used to. I don't believe I have to. That's not where my soul's mission is meant to go in this time and place right now. So there, I turned that one off. The other guy, when he was like, well, the top people that are the most successful, I don't think they talk about this stuff. And I used to believe that too. And in my mind, I was like, listen, the reason if people don't talk about it, then nobody will know that it is achievable and it is possible in the industry that you might be in, which a lot of people follow me because they're tattoo artists. And for me, that's doing the world a disservice by not sharing who you are and how proud you are of yourself, of doing the things that you said you set out to do and doing them better than you ever expected because you decided to make a change in your life. The change for me was to get to be more spiritual, to really get into introspection, to do the inner work. Because I'd seen so many people do it, have truly successful businesses in the way that I used to think success was just in money. And I was like, how is this person making $1 million with an easeful, holistic, and balanced place? That doesn't make sense. But I kept seeing it pop up for me. And I was like, I can do this too in my industry. How do I do this as well? So I did the work. I put in the hours. I worked my butthole off to find this space. And now that I've found it and I continue to find it and evolve within it, I don't want to be the asshole to hoard all that information. If it wasn't for those other people sharing with me how much money they made and how successful they were coming from a balanced and holistic place, I would have never known. I would have never sought to think to go this route. I would have never had another next level goal because I would have just been like, no, that's not even possible for me in my industry. It's not a thing. It cannot happen. No way. No way. I gotta trade time for hours. And sometimes that's what you're meant to do for a long time. I did that for a very long time. I did that for fucking over 30, no, not 30 years. I'm 34. I did that, every time, you work, you get paid hourly, you get paid hourly. I've been paid hourly for a very long time. I got paid even salary, but then it was like for the amount of hours, I worked more hours for that salary. So it was like, yeah. Now I'm starting to realize that, like, for me, it was like, I want to help people. I found myself wanting to help more people, not just the people that were getting tattooed in my chair. I felt like a healer and I felt like I was being called to something. So I moved toward that. Move toward what you're being called to. You will find success in that the way that you see success. The reason why that I spoke about it and the reason why I talk about it is because I want people to see that it is possible for them. But the people that don't believe that it's possible for them will have the negative thoughts. Well, you know what I mean? Because that's their own limiting beliefs. And hopefully, if my shit just happens to show up in their space again, or, other people's shit starts to show up in their space again and starting to see like there is a whole other way to be running a business, that you can be incredibly successful as a tattoo artist. And you don't have to be a shop owner or a coach like I am and all this other stuff. Like, don't get me wrong. I work my butthole off. Like, it's not that I don't put in the fucking hours. My easeful experience is because I'm doing it from a place of a knowing and trust within myself that where I'm meant to go is where I'm meant to be. And I will do my best. I will always give my 100% in whatever it is I believe that is aligned with me. And so that doesn't mean that I don't do work. It doesn't mean I don't put in the hours. It just means that I do it maybe in a different way, and also from a place of peace within me, so that I don't feel fucking stressed out 24 fucking hours a day, where I don't feel like I'm waking up jolted awake being like, I have so much to do today, and I don't even have a fucking to-do list yet. Like, that's how we all wake up. I don't want to wake up like that anymore. I don't want to wake up stressed out all of a sudden because my day hasn't even started. I also don't want to wake up in a way where I feel like I don't know who the fuck I am or what the fuck I'm doing here. What is my purpose in this life? I don't want to wake up like that either. That's fucking stressful. So I did the work. I did the inner work. That shit was hard work, and it's still hard work. Fuck, I think it's harder work than fucking posting every day and all this other nonsense. If you guys watched my last episode, you'll see that I was talking about fuck posting consistently. And it's like, I would rather post, show up every single day, make it seem like I'm worthy of all the things that I have, because I want you to know that I'm hustling. Like, no, I don't want that anymore. I don't believe in hustling anymore. And this is and the money aspect is literally showing me that I don't have to, that I can create massive income within my business from a peaceful, easeful place. So that's why I do it. So I bring this up because I know oftentimes we feel nervous to say certain things or to be authentic with ourselves. You don't have to share your money or your achievements or anything, but make sure you're doing it because it's not because you are afraid of the repercussions of it. Because there are more people out there that will be inspired by the thing that you do than the people that have something to say. Because the ones that have something to say are the ones that don't have the time. They're the ones that are burnt out, stressed out, overwhelmed, don't believe that anything is possible for them, but except for the thing that they think that they're doing right now. And that's the bummer part. The fact that I moved someone so much, moved them in a positive or negative way, so much for them to take time out of their day, to waste time out of their day to tell me something. And all it told me was that I needed to hold a lot of compassion, because I'm reaching a whole new level of people with my content, with my message, with my movement. And then I have to have compassion, but it's also telling me that the universe is telling me that I'm ready for more. I'm ready to hold more space. I'm ready to expand even more. I'm ready for more healing, more expansion of my authentic self, getting closer connection with my intuition, getting closer connection with my purpose on this planet. More meaning more motherfucking money. Baby, I'm gonna be a millionaire. I will let you know when that happens. You could not have told me that I could make any kind of money like this in this industry. I wouldn't have thought it. There are no such thing as spiritual tattoo business coaches. Are you kidding me? I made that shit up. I looked. There are a lot of spiritual business coaches, but I'm a spiritual tattoo business coach, meaning I am in the fucking niche movement to show tattooers, and obviously anybody that really wants to listen, that there is another way. There's a holistic and balanced way to run your business and to run your career, even if you don't have a fucking, you're working for someone. Maybe you're an artist that works for someone in a shop, or maybe it's not even, you're in finance. Maybe you're a fucking teacher, There is a whole level into looking at the perspective with which with what eyes you look at the thing that you are doing. And you can make it either feel like, draggy pants, like I got to show up again, I'm working for someone, blah, 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 blah. Or you can look at it as, how can I make this the most unique experience that I can help the most people? How can I be the best fucking teacher? How can I be the best fucking artist? How can I be the best fucking financial advisor? That's coming from a place of like holistic place from within you. How it's coming from balance within you. And what's funny is that when you cultivate that balance within you, you start to see the paths with which you need to go. Not with which people tell you what you need to do. That's why it doesn't bother me so much anymore when it comes to people being like, stop talking about your money, stop talking about your finances. Like, that has nothing to do with me. That's the only thing that they're showing me, is that they have a lot of limiting beliefs within themselves that maybe hopefully one day they'll work through. It also tells me that the universe is telling me that I'm ready because of my reaction to it. Like, these, for me, I don't really believe that the universe tests you, but I think the universe prepares you. It's like, listen, you can't expand further unless you've gone through some of these lessons. And now, since you're asking me to expand further, since you're asking to expand further, well, then here are some lessons that you can we could see what happens. We could see what your reaction is. And if you react in the old way that you did, hey, no big deal. Not a big deal, bro. Like, something to learn from if growth is what you seek. But if you react in a different way, where you don't like get defensive and you just have a lot of compassion and then you respond with kindness, well, fuck. Maybe you are ready, Reese. Let's expand. Let's go. So for me, I get the chills. Like, oh, I just got the chills with that, because I can feel the energy. Like, once you start to really get in tune with who you are, you get to become so much more sensitive to the energy around you. You get to start moving it in the way that you want it to. You want it to go. Everything is energy. Money, success, happiness. It's all a feeling. It's all energy. And it's all a vibration. And the way we choose to vibrate is where we are going to feel more of the thing that we want to feel. And so this is up to you. You don't have to follow me. Like I said, I have an innate knowing these days now, and trust within myself that what I'm doing is coming from a place of higher self. Now, if I got really defensive over it, that's my body not actually believing that where I'm coming from is a place of service. Maybe I was just trying to show off in that moment. And then I have to check myself. I'll be like, oh, was that a habit reaction that I'm habitually had from my whole life, and I'm just having it, and so now I can be aware of it? Or is it because I actually did post because I just really wanted someone to pat me on the back? That's also something that could come up too. And when those things come up, we get aware of it, we question it, we ask ourselves the questions, and we make sure. Sorry, there's a lot of loud noises going on right now. But I just want to encourage you not to hide your truest self in all of your success, in the way that you see success, from others, because you're afraid of whatever repercussion or whatever consequence might happen. Because if you want to share it, share it. That's coming from within you. And ask yourself where you're sharing it from. Is it coming because it's ego, or is it because you're whatever? But to me, if I know that it's coming from a really, really my highest self, a place of service, a place where I'm already proud of, I'm proud to share this thing. Yes, I've made this much money in this amount of time doing this thing that I never thought was real. I'm paving the fucking way. Like, I don't know for sure, but like, I definitely have not seen it. And I get told by a lot of people, a lot of big people in the industry, that they've never seen it either. That yes, there's people that teach marketing, but they don't teach it in the way that I do, from a holistic and spiritual place. They also see that there's a lot of coaches, but they're also not seeing like how much work that I've been doing. So it's like, there are a lot of coaches in this industry, in the tattoo industry, trying to teach you how to either tattoo or techniques or fine art and things like that. There's not a lot of people teaching business. And I've actually, there's like, and for me, it's like the way that I see success, I feel like I'm really one of the top successful tattoo coaches in this industry so far. And I'm hoping that I'm paving the way for others that want to do this as well. And not just in business. Maybe you want to be a fucking Reiki master for tattoo artists. Like, hell yeah. I know that I do. I'm actually going to be going into energy healing and Reiki soon. Like, I want to learn it. I want to understand it better so that I can do that for my clients, my tattoo clients, the ones that I tattoo, as well as for my coaching clients. So yeah, it's a really, really big deal to me. And you can do whatever you want to do. Like, I just want to share that, like, it's okay to see yourself as a badass, and it's okay to see yourself as successful. Like, it comes from a humble place of knowing that, like, fuck, like, look at where I'm at. Like, I'm so proud of this. And it's not coming from a place of like ego, like, yeah, motherfuckers. You know what I mean? Like it can, but that's unfulfilling. But what's fulfilling for me is to know that I'm helping a ton of people along the way. And that if that's for you, if you're coming from a place of service and your purpose, then you know it's right. So I want you just to authentically be yourself. And I want to apologize for all this noise. And I love you so much. And thank you for listening to this episode. And I will catch you in the next one.